from analog
Hi, Jim. You have a great signal up here. You're 5.9 plus.
to digital. We are everywhere you want to be. This is the CQ Blind Hams Podcast.
It's Gena, Mike 0 Echo Bravo Papa here. Thank you to Ian, DJ0HF. We spent a couple of hours earlier playing with our NanoVNAs and Windows 10 and the app called NanoVNA Saver, and I'd like to share with you those findings and what we found, because it's a great start and we need help from those that are more screen reader savvy to find solutions for NVDA and for JAWS. Let me describe the application. We can tab through a number of controls using all of the screen readers, and the screen is divided into two basically. They are on a panel on the left hand side, and the results show up on the right hand side. Now if you can move the mouse cursor over there, Ian tells me that NVDA does read the data. Ian does not have JAWS, so Ian didn't test JAWS, but Ian also found a fantastic way of getting narrator to read the data, but in a very clunky way. So it works, but needs refinement. It's quite clunky. So I'm going to show you as a starting point. It's no comprehensive guide, but it's just hopefully an exercise of throwing down the gauntlet and saying, hey guys, come and help tweak this system, and perhaps communicate with the developer of NanoVNA Saver to put in some of the hooks we might need to get the output we want. There's a lot more buttons and things to play with, and as I say, Ian and I have only spent a couple of hours on this, and this is what we found. We are using NanoVNA Saver version 0.4. I downloaded it yesterday, and today rather is May the 7th. I'm not in my recording studio, so I'm using my iPhone and just press record to record this. So if you've purchased a NanoVNA, hopefully it's essential that you do have the 3 caps. And just to revise, because I think there's been quite a bit of description on the web, on the Blind Hams list of what they are. They're SMA caps. One of them, you'll notice on the underside, does not have a pin in it, so that is your open. On my machine, with my VNA, the taller cap with the pin in, so if you put them down on a desk, it's only a millimeter or so, very small amount, 1/16 of an inch height difference. But the taller one is the load, the 50 ohms cap, and the smaller one is the short. If you have any sight, or someone with sight looks at them, they can see that the short is silver in color and the load is gold in color. As a YouTube video suggested, shiny means short. So the application, I have things set up here, and I've tabbed to the appropriate place. Before we do delve into that, I should say the app does not have an installer. You run it from wherever you put it. It takes a little time to load up, so you need to be patient. You'll hear screen reader say that a terminal window is opened, and then sometime a good few seconds later, my machine is old but Ian's is considerably newer, and you can tab using narrator straight away, or use accessible via all screen readers. If you don't know how to load narrator, press Control Windows key and hold them down and press enter, and narrator will. I have tabbed to the serial port group, and I'm going to tab now, and you'll hear that it says that I'm on COM9.
Serial port control, COM9, H4, combo box, down.
So it says it's an edit field, but it's not something that you edit. You tab forward again.
Rescan button.
Rescan. So if you didn't plug the Nano VNA and get a COM port assigned to it before loading up the app, then you can tell it to rescan. And when it's rescanned, it's found it, and you can usually then press the next tab, which
Connect to device button.
Connect to device button, and it's a toggle. You just press the space bar.
Space. Disconnect button.
And narrator said disconnect. So now we're going to tab forward.
Manage button.
Manage
Files button.
Files.
Calibration button.
Calibration, and we press space
Calibration
on that.
window. Calibrate. Apply button.
Oh, and I'm on the apply button. So this screen has a number of controls on it, and let me just see if I can get there.
Calibration, off, isolation, through REFL button.
There
Through
we go.
load button. Open button. Short button.
So top of the list is short. So you put the silver cap on your VNA, then tap that. And it takes a split second, and you can double check by holding the insert key down or the numeric 0 and pressing number 6.
Set 101 points.
And it tells you that it's set. So you need to calibrate at least those three: the short,
Open button.
the open,
Load button.
and the load, and you leave the load on. Now I'm going to press escape key because I've already done that.
Nano VNA Saber 0.4.0. Sweep. May 2nd, 2022. 1620 and 101 points. Window. Calibration button.
And narrator tells me I'm still on the calibration button. So I'm going to tab forward. I think it's about 4 or 5 times.
Display setup. About button. Group. Sweep control. Edit. 3.5 megahertz.
And then it says sweep control and an edit box. I put in 3.5 MHz.
Sweep control. Edit. 3.8 megahertz.
I've tabbed forward, and then there I typed 3.8 MHz, and I did not make any more text entries, but there are more edit fields that have been populated by it automatically.
Sweep control. Edit. 3.65 megahertz.
3.65 megahertz, which is the center point of my sweep area.
Sweep control. Edit. 300 kilohertz.
Sweep control, and it's 300 kilohertz.
Sweep control. Edit. 1.
Sweep control, and it's another edit field, and it's set at 1.
Sweep settings button.
Sweep settings button.
Sweep control. Sweep. Markers. Edit. 3.5 megahertz. Sweep control. Sweep button.
Sorry, I went past that. And it says sweep control button. Tap the space bar and it will do that sweep. It's already done it for me, but I'm going to press it again.
Space. Markers. Edit. 3.5 megahertz. End of
And it's quick, and the focus is now moved to markers. Okay, so what Ian found is that narrator has a search. Basically, all we do here is hold the caps lock key soon. Hold the caps lock key, control key, and then hit enter.
Markers. Search all window. Search list. Edit.
And narrator says search all window, search list. There's a search term. So I wonder if we'll have to play with that, or whether you can put in VSWR and just have those listed. Wonder if you can do that. But currently what we know is that cursor down 9 times and it will bring you to your first frequency, your start sweep. Count to 9, or let narrator tell me when I'm on the position number 9. It's usually a 9 of 149 or something like that.
Search math cloak marker 1 group 7 of 149 marker 1 custom 8 of 100 and 3.50000 megahertz text 9 of 149 selected.
Yeah, so it's telling me 3.5 megahertz. The SWR for that frequency with the load cap on the VNA is 6 positions down. So
49 minus 7 2.78 49.297.58 ff 1.002 text 15 of 149 selected.
And it's telling me it's 1.0
200 1.002 text 15 of 149 selected.
I'm going to have to clarify with that what it's telling me. Zoo
minus 61.585 dB 1.002 text 15 of 149 selected.
But that is the SWR. Ian demonstrated it using on a real antenna, and I was able to hear the. So that's our start frequency, and that's the SWR for that. 20 places down the list is the frequency of the midpoint. So mark, and we're at 15, so that makes it 35. So let's go there.
Parallel R, parallel X, text 26 of 104, S21 phase, text 32 of 100 and marker 3.65000 megahertz, text 35 of 149 selected.
So that's 35 of 145, and there we go, it's 3.65 megahertz. So 6 places down is its SWR for that frequency.
49 minus 500 3.38 49.9 225 1.002 text 41 of 100.
Do it sounds like it's saying to me. I obviously haven't got narrator set up to optimize for mine. It's not a screen reader that I use, but like before, 20 places forward. This is 41, isn't it? So 61, there's the frequency of my end point of the sweep. So let's go to 61.
Minus parallel X, VSWR, text 53 of 140, return loss, quality effect, S11 phase, S21 gain, text 57 of 149,
57.
Marker 3, custom 3.80000 megahertz, text 61 of 149 selected.
And 61 of 100 frequency that I set in my sweep, which was 1.8 megahertz, and of course 6 places down is its SWR.
49 minus 4.1 49 100 at 1.002 text 67 of 149 selected.
And there we go, that's what we found. So at least at the moment we can get 3 markers and reading the SWR. It's hard work cursoring down all of those. Ian visually can see by navigating around the controls on the left hand side. Ian managed to do something and get the table highlighted. So I said to him, can you copy that and paste it on into a text editor? But narrator wouldn't allow him to edit or copy. Search function that just lists them in a straightforward list, and we're able to read the data that way. It's very clunky. Please come and help, teach us screen reader tricks to get to that data with this app. Maybe a polite letter, email to the developers. They might be able to improve things and add some shortcut keys. Narrator is not speaking any shortcut keys, but the controls are visible to Narrator, NVDA and JAWS. So it's just that little push forward, and we'll have an accessible Nano VNA. How about that? Once again, many thanks to Ian, DJ0HF, for spending the time with me, teaching me what a vector network analyzer is and what it could do, and just seeing all this data at my fingertips. It's mind-blowing, and it can only go forward. So 73 all, and help us find the a better way of accessing this data from this app. Oh, I should say the app is available for the Mac, for Linux, for Windows. So, oh, and Android, of course. And each one, you know, obviously will behave differently on the different platforms, but there's plenty to be working on. 73 from Mike Zero Echo Bravo Papa.
Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and visit www.blindhams.com.